Coffee. Check. Candle. Check. And phone. Check.
And wait, some wine!
Oh, it's cold in here. Hey guys, what the fuck was that intro? In this video I'm gonna talk about my whole experience living here in Scotland. So I've been living here for 5 months now. I think tomorrow is gonna be like exactly 5 months of me living here. So I asked you on Instagram to give me some questions because of course I'm gonna talk about my whole experience, but I think it's better if I answer stuff you are genuinely interested in. So let's jump into it. First question is, are people from Scotland friendly to foreigners, and is it difficult to find a job, even a less paid one, as a waitress? So, people here are quite nice. I wouldn't say friendly, but they're really nice and polite. They always say please and thank you and sorry. People are polite for sure, but they're not that friendly. They're a bit cold, but I may be biased because I'm Greek, and in Greece everyone's friendly. You can make small talk with people who you don't even know that much. You can overshare. That's how it is. So to me, they don't seem friendly, but they're very polite and nice. Of course, you can meet people that are really rude, but that's something that can happen everywhere. It's not just the Scottish thing. The thing that bothers me a bit is that it feels like they taught them all these things in school, like how to greet and treat people in everyday basis. So sometimes they do it as robots. So even someone is really nice, it feels like it's a bit forced. So yeah, that's just my experience. So to answer the second part of the question, is it difficult to find a job, even a less paid one, as a waiter? I'm not living in a big Scottish city like Glasgow or Edinburgh. I'm living in Aberdeen. Aberdeen is a city where everything revolves around the oil industry. So if you don't have a degree in something relevant to this, the other opportunity for you is to work in customer service jobs, which it's not only in Scotland but everywhere. These jobs are really bad because second question is, what was the biggest surprise about life in Scotland? The biggest surprise was that before coming here, I was really anxious about my English. Although I have a decent English level, I still thought that I'm gonna be thinking a lot before speaking and stucking in my head most of the times. But it's actually the biggest surprise to me is that I don't feel any difference. My English got better after a day at work serving customers. Even if I find a Greek customer and I have to speak in Greek, it's really hard for me to change from English to Greek, and it's like I forgot to speak my own language. I don't know if I answered your question completely, but yeah, that was the biggest surprise. The third question, was it a big cultural adaptation for you? Not really, because I don't come from Asia or America. It's still Europe, it's still the same. They don't do a lot of things differently here. And a lot of people who know me say that a country like Western, Northern Europe suits me better than Southern Mediterranean countries. So I guess they're right, they know me. So another question. I want to move to Scotland so badly. What are your pros and cons about moving there so far? Whoa, that's kind of a broad question, but of course I wanted to talk about the pros and cons in this video, so might as well get into it now. So I'll start with the pros. The first one for me is the weather. I really like this gloomy scenery, and so for me that's a pro. But if you like the sun, it's gonna be a disadvantage, of course. Another pro are the groceries. I know this sounds a bit lame, but since I've been here I started cooking more, and I really like all the broad selection you can find at the grocery store. You can find anything. It's great, and the prices are pretty low, so you can take so many stuff for 35-40 pounds, and they can last you for a week, and you can cook so many meals. You can have so many different types of breakfasts. I don't know, one morning I wake up and I want to make crepes or pancakes. Sometimes I want to make avocado toast, and I have all these selections, and it's great. So another pro is that so many beautiful places are near where I'm living, although I need a car to go there because buses and trains are not really going through these places, but still it's a beautiful place. There are so many hidden castles and like fairy sceneries around here in the Scottish Highlands, so of course when I have the opportunity to go there I'm gonna go because it's so near. I'm so near the Scottish Highlands, oh my god. Another pro is that this particular town that I'm living has a lot of universities, so it's a place with a lot of young people and people from all different countries in the world, and this is something I really like because I've met a lot of people, especially from Poland. It's been so amazing so far. What else? So now I'm gonna go to the cons, and there I'm gonna put the food. So if you want to go out and eat, the food to me is really not that good. It's overpriced, the portions are not that big, and again that's because I'm coming from Greece where you can find really cheap food and really good food. But again, this is something that gets easily countered since I am just buying groceries and cooking for myself, and it's more tasty and more cheap. So that's not a biggie, but still, if you want to go out and eat, it's not the best place there. Especially for me, the Scottish cuisine, it's really not that good. I don't know if you've seen any pictures of the like traditional Scottish breakfast, but
No, God,
when I
please,
think
no,
of that, it makes me
no.
want to barf. Another thing is that the buses are really expensive. Like you take a bus to go from the city center to your house, which for me is a 20-minute, 30-minute walk, like 7 bus stops, and it costs like £1.70. And even if you take it like for 1 or 2 stops more, it can cost you even more, like £2.40, which is crazy. Like back in Greece, the bus ticket was like €1, and for me, since I was a student, it was like 50 cents, so it's really a lot for this short distance. It's a small town, I can walk. It's just annoying that I have to pay so much for a bus if I'm late or it's cold and I want to take the bus. So yeah, another thing I don't like that much is that the people throwing up everywhere. I've seen so many vomit ponds in the streets, and it's, for me, I have emetophobia, so I really don't like that. Someone says English isn't my first language, so I'm really scared that I will be on my own a lot because of it. Well, trust me, there are so many people from other countries here that you won't feel alone, because most of the people here don't speak. They speak English, but it's not their first language. So even to the locals speaking English, no matter your level, it's still something big because they don't know your language. I get so many compliments from people living here or having English as their first language, telling me that it's so impressive that you speak our language. Even if you know a little bit of English, don't think that it's bad, because you're still able to communicate with people from this country. And think about them, if they go to your country, will they be able to speak and communicate? So don't worry about that, they won't give you a hard time. The next person wants to know costs of the apartments, how are the people there, how's the weather on a daily basis. So since I covered the last two, I'm gonna speak about the costs of apartments. Again, I am living in a small town, so it's not the same as a town like Edinburgh or Glasgow, although I believe Edinburgh is the most expensive one. Aberdeen is small, most of the people, there are only like 2 main streets to go, so even if you live somewhere else, it's easy to navigate and not get lost, so it's fine. For me, I'm currently living near the University of Aberdeen. It's in Old Aberdeen, and it's a really nice area, and me and my roommate are living in a fairly big house, bigger than we need. We pay £850 per month, so it's £425 per person, and it's actually pretty affordable. It's fine, although for the job I'm having with a 0-hour contract, it's hard because I don't earn the money I believed I was gonna earn, because I'm not working full-time all the time. Sometimes you get full-time hours and it's fine, sometimes you get part-time hours and you're struggling. Although I am able to pay for my utility bills, my groceries, my taxes, which suck. The problem is that I'm really struggling to save money in order to travel or go back in Greece, although I managed to book a ticket and I'm leaving this month for 2 whole weeks. So yay, I'm going home. But yeah, if you're on your own, it's gonna be a bit harder, I guess. You can still find a house that's cheap, for example, £300 to £400, which is fine. And it's gonna be decent, don't worry, it's not gonna be like a basement or something. But still you have to pay for taxes, especially if you're not a student. You have to pay like the city council tax. But the biggest problem living alone is gonna be the utility bills. For us here is for 2 people, it's £300 every 3 months. Now that's winter, I guess it's gonna be a little more expensive than that. But still it's not gonna be really expensive because, as I said, it wasn't that cold here. I expected it to be way colder, but it's not. It's also not that rainy, which is weird because I expected Scotland to be like raining all the time, but no, we actually get sun sometimes. And I know a lot of people from work that they are living on their own. You can do it, it's possible to do, but especially if you're working on a minimum wage paying job, it's gonna be difficult because you are not gonna be able to save enough money. Because most of the people I spoke with, they're living paycheck after paycheck. So yeah, that may suck a bit. But if you're gonna share it with someone else, it's gonna be a bit easier, of course. And again, if you're like me and struggling, because I applied to so many jobs and most of the ones that replied positive, they have like a 0-hour contract, so it's a thing here, I guess. And the only thing to do in this situation is apply for a universal credit. So it's basically, if you get accepted to it, they will give you some money every month. I don't know how much I'll get because I just did it, but I guess they're gonna like fill in the gap between the money you should have been earning with a minimum paid job and the money you make. So it's gonna be, long story short, I'm gonna finally be able to save some money, and I am currently looking, after my lease ends, I'm currently looking for more affordable places. Although I really love this house, it's beautiful, it even has a garden, but still I don't mind giving up all this in order to save some money, because I really want to do some traveling here. So the battery died and I had to charge it a bit in order to be able to finish this video. I hope it lasts till the end. Oh my god. So another question. Favorite nature place to visit in Scotland? I still haven't been to the places I want to. I have an itinerary in my head and I'm planning to go there in spring, hopefully with some friends who know how to drive, so we can just make a tour around the Scottish Highlands, Isle of Skye and things like that. But at the moment, the best place, the nature place I found here in Scotland is a small town outside of Aberdeen. It's like 30 minutes with a train. I'll put the map here so you can understand what I'm saying. So it's called Stonehaven. The main reason I like it is because of the Dunatar Castle and like the shore down the castle, so you can just walk to the castle. It's a bit hard hiking ride. It's a bit long, especially if it's windy, it's gonna be a nightmare. It was hella windy when I went to film my music video and I felt like I was gonna die because the wind was genuinely moving me, like I was going to fall off the cliff. And the waves were huge. It's really nice when the tide is coming and you can see the water being pushed away and like coming, and it's great, especially when the sun has set. It's such a gloomy, fairy-like scenery because you get all these rocks and waves, and it's like a troll is gonna rise from the water and come chase you around the castle and the hills. So yeah, that's my favorite place so far. Okay, so I really like this question. Is the Scottish accent a lot different, like hard to understand? Well, of course it's different. You can tell between a Scottish accent, an American, and a British one, obviously.
I don't know how to flush the toilet after they've had a shit.
What do you mean?
Well, it was fucking one of you.
But it's not that hard to understand, at least for me. I was able to understand like most of the things people were telling me, and it's fine. For me, the Scottish accent that it's really hard to understand is the Glasgow one. People there speak really, really fast. So I think that's the main reason why it's really hard. They speak very fast and you really can't just grasp what they're saying. But yeah, you can, of course, you can ask them to speak more slowly or just repeat what they're saying. It's not a shame to not understand, it's completely fine. Sorry, crispy onions. It was so bad. Enough with the accents. I can talk all day about accents. I really love accents. What were your thoughts when it finally really hit you that you moved to Scotland? So this is a really difficult question to answer, because the summer before I left and came here, so in August, every person I knew was freaking out for me. They were like, how do you feel? How aren't you nervous or anything? And I was pretty much on autopilot mode. I was floating most of the time. I did not realize that I was moving, so I was pretty calm, and I think that was like a defense mechanism my body made. It was actually nice because I did not stress at all. So when I came here, I started freaking out a bit, but still I was still on autopilot as well. Slowly it hit me. It did not hit me like this in one day, so that was good. It slowly hit me, and so every morning was kind of hard because I was freaking out. I was like, where am I? And this was the longest I've ever been somewhere else other than home. So I got the same feeling, like this is temporary, I'm gonna go home. But this time I knew that this is it. This is the room you're gonna wake up like for the next months. So a lot of you asked about citizenship, about the permit of staying there, and actually yesterday Brexit officially happened, so I'm still not sure about what is gonna happen. Someone asked, are there any steps you need to go through before you are considered a citizen? And for this I have no knowledge on that. I'm only living here for 5 months. I guess in order to get the citizenship you'll have to stay longer, like 5 years maybe, I don't know, you can search it online. Someone else asks, did you have to get any permission to move to Scotland? How does it work? So basically I came here with my passport. The thing is, I don't have to get a visa. I got my national insurance number when I came here. Again, I think I have to like ask for a permit to stay, but it's not gonna affect me. Okay, I feel personally attacked with this question, because this person asks, is there any way to get to know people in a new city, town, outside work? Well, all I can say is that I haven't made any friends, and this is because I'm really antisocial. I prefer to stay at home, but if you decide to go out, you have a great time, you meet people and you become friends. I know it works like this, I've done it before, but I still cannot convince myself to go out. I just want to curl under my blanket and stay at home. And a lot of people here have this partying mentality, so they drink, smoke weed, party, which is not my style. I mean, of course I've done it in the past. I've stayed out late, I drank, not that much, I don't like alcohol.
Mostly the wine.
That's mostly on me. Of course it's easier to find people, there's so many young people.
If you're lucky enough, you can find people who play video games and they're antisocial as you and they prefer staying at home and not partying out.
Okay, so the last question is, what do you wish you knew sooner or wish it was easier to be done? When I moved from Greece, I believe that every other like European, Western European place will be better economy-wise. It was gonna be easier for me to find a job, but it's been a real struggle because I feel like they're not giving enough opportunities to young people, even to people with degrees. It was so hard to find a job, even now that I have one and it's not the best job. I applied to like more than 100 jobs. Most of the times they don't even reply at all. Silence is the rejection. But if they do reply, they say things like you were not suitable for the job, you did not have like the experience needed, someone else was better than you. The competition is huge because our parents gave us the same advice: just go to the university, get degrees, and now we all have degrees and we don't know what to do with them. My camera battery died again and I completely forgot where I was. So I think it's time to wrap up this video. I really hope I answered most of your questions. I really hope you enjoy and have a nice month. Whoa, month! It's February already. Wow, the winter is almost over. Wow. So bye!